I'm so happy to be here. And I mean that with everything it comes with. I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy with my stage name is Zoe, which means life in Greek. And that apparently Modiga means peace. Angazi if my grandfather was adding spice there. But like, yeah, I'm grateful that, thank you so much, that like I reconcile with the fact that I'm happy to be here. It's a war zone, but it is worth it. It's beautiful to be here. So that's my truth.
The show is Engineer Your Life. It's winter in Johannesburg and we are absolutely freezing, but we hope this conversation will keep you warm. I'm Lungelo KM. Welcome to a new episode. We're here having good conversations as usual. I'm sure you clicked on this because you've seen the thumbnail and you know who I'm sitting with. A phenomenal songstress. When she walked in, I said, now I see why you're the superstar because of the beautiful outfit. Yeah, you want to lay outfits? Yeah, Zoe.
Hello.
How's your heart today?
Hi, well, firstly, to what do I owe the pleasure? It's beautiful to be here on your platform. Off camera. I'm a huge fan. I've been following a lot of the conversations. I would say my heart is settled. And like dust rises from the ground. I'm the thing that happens just after Inklabat layer settles. That's how I'm feeling. Feeling at ease. I had a very slow, intentional morning waking up because I'm a hermit most of the time. I do not leave the house. I'm going to work or I'm going to share in some kind of way. So I usually have to prepare my mind. It's okay, we're going to be outside with the girlies and just, be in that place to settle into it. So that's how I'm feeling. Just gingi.
I get that. There's something about this industry, especially for people who are in it for the right reasons. They stay at home a lot, contrary to popular belief.
Yeah.
I think you preserve your energy for performing.
Absolutely.
Whichever part of the creative space you're in, but you're like, I want to be one with myself more. I want to preserve myself so that when I do come out, I can give it my all. Is that how you feel?
I absolutely feel like that. I was having a conversation with a friend who was talking, always breaking down these interesting concepts in our mind about any kind of thing from like SpongeBob to podcasts. It could be anything. And Miss Koloma, we were talking about how it's such an interesting thing to be this front-facing person who has EP or that they've been given and who gets to be platformed as a result of that. I know my gifts are there to really to be the soundtrack to our lives, to help us think, to make culture, conversations, to see people bejabule, to see us creating experiences and worlds. But it's probably not always a good idea to trust someone whose cup is empty when they are doing things that are an act of service. So I find that I need to spend a lot of time alone. I'm not taking care of myself, but also just to give from a place and not to give from an empty place. But who operates in that way, if you're willing to give so much of yourself when there is nothing there, then what are you giving? It must be null and void. It must be empty.
Have you always been like this? Because I feel a lot of us, as we grow older, we then recognize the importance of filling my own cup. But when we were younger, we want to fit in so much that we self-abandon a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think mina, I'm very well acquainted with self-betrayal and self-abandonment in general. And ngingathi it comes from ukuba umuntu okhulayo and you recognize some of the gifts that you've been given very early. So mina might not have been great at mathematics, or science, or left brain, but I was a dance kid, I was a valedictorian, I was a poetry kid, I was a choir kid, I was a theater kid. And what usually comes with that is that very, very early on, you begin to notice people and the ways in which they engage with that. Yazi uma usamncane kakhulu uthi yazi uPalesa will go very, very far.
Yes.
Yabo, so that puts you in a position of being quite hyper aware of people in general, of observing people, because you want to be a performance all the time.
Sure.
You keep saying, I'm going to make it when I sing. You know, this is the thing that gives me attention. This is the thing that makes me seem like a valued person. So we are fond and sometimes performance can come with an element of self-betrayal.
Sure,
you know, so it is from that place where I had to kind of be this person onalezi pure, but ngiyikhumbuza ukuthi kusakhona umuntu behind all of that.
Yeah.
Like there's a living, breathing person that's still valuable outside of just performing and singing on stage and being accepted or rejected for it. You know,
Taking back 10 years ago, when you are performing, you know you're gifted, because I always say, I believe God speaks to the individual. God doesn't call a caucus, a meeting to say, I'm going to bless this person because they've done this. God just blesses people. He even blesses your enemies, by the way. God just blesses who he chooses to blesses. When you were feeling unblessed, feeling rejected, feeling like my gift is not strong enough, how are you handling that?
So you think this was 10 years ago? This was last week. This was a couple of hours ago. What's that 10 years? 2016. Oh my gosh. I mean, 2016, I was on a reality singing show.
The Voice.
The Voice South Africa season 1. And that was my first brush with people really enjoying what I do and people viscerally not enjoying what I do.
Yeah.
Because you see that comment section, Bozayami, it's anything between, a superstar. Oh, she's a beautiful baldy. She helped me cut my hair. All the way to like, you screwed the song up. This is my favorite song before you sang it, Yabon. So, I would say that being in that position and that space is one of the things that kind of helped to kind of see how to navigate umsindo.
Sure.
Hamsana nalento esiyenzayo. Because inomsindo.
Yo, akumsindo.
Inomsindo.
Mhlawumbe ngcono ka music owazi la ngikhona mina.
Sindo, and yazi I can only imagine. But it's so interesting even to just like perform on a stage and I've performed for one person, I've performed for thousands of people.
Sure.
Yazi ube on stage uperforme kube naleyo energy and mina nginozwelo kakhulu abantu mengibaperformela I can really feel the energy kuthi lo wants to enjoy themselves, lo wants to get lost. You can see ukuthi lo nje ufuna ukudistract from whatever's worrying them. Lo came a little bit heavy hearted yabona. So ngithathe yonke le mizwa lena and I walk with it and we create this beautiful magical experience and then the show ends and it's quiet. Like ikujula ngalendlela ukuthi ngathi nje nginezungu when it's all finished. You know, so inomsindo iningi but ijulile futhi kodwa yinhle. You know,
is the cost of fame that heavy? Because I can see something changed in your face as you said, msindo. Like do you really edify the fact that there is so much noise attached to fame? Lapo, when you were just living your dream and then fame was part and parcel.
Well, I think there's something to be said about how everything balances itself out. I mean, for you to have the platform that you have now comes with the good that it comes with, but also comes with an equal parts pressure. And I would say for me, being a platformed person or umuntu abantu abangathi udumile or ufamous, I think is an equal parts pressure to the gifting and the assignment that I have.
Got you.
So for me, I don't drink my own Kool-Aid. I actually do prefer to be quite invisible off stage. The only time I need you to be paying attention to me and looking at me is when I'm on the stage. Then I need your attention. I will fight for it. I will try to hold on to it.
Sure.
But when I'm off the stage, I do prefer to disappear. I prefer to be like the people in the room that I'm in. Angithandi ukuthi ngike ngigame lapho. You know, kodwa ngi understand ukuthi ukugama kwento kuyasiza ukuthi umlayezo is able to move forward.
Sure.
And I know my music, my art is there to share messages about being umuntu in this world, navigating everything that it comes with to be alive, because I'm sure all of us are winging it. You know, some just do it better than others. You know, and yeah, that's basically it. But it's the pressure that comes with the assignment.
Just a side note about winging it. Don't shoot me. I've got issues with life coaches. Like, Wawa Pilani, who's coach out. Where did you live? Why are you coaching us? Like, you have completely branded yourself as a person we must pay money to consult to about life. And my thing is, now they're getting younger and younger. Maybe perhaps, let's say a 50-year-old can say, you're 28 and you're a life coach?
That is so funny. I wonder what makes you think of that.
Yeah, because I'm like, come on, guys. I know siyadlala izinto, but come on. In this era of branding.
I don't know. I think young people, angazi go life coach, it's hard to thick a little bit. But I think young people are actually like the life force of society.
Sure.
Like the brain of society. I think because now says June was Youth Month, Pride Month, Black History Month. But in June, we get to be reminded of the fact that actually like young people are the ones that were like social change makers when it came to society. Mastabang on 1976, we're not talking about 28-year-olds even.
Sure.
We're talking about 14, 15.
Love that.
People that would refer to me as Usisi, if not Umam Zoe, if not Aunt Zoe, you know. So I think, I don't know, no life coach, but I do think young people actually know what's going on.
I love that.
Sometimes it's a matter of listening to that.
We are accused as creative nowadays of being fickle. Like we're dancing, we're singing about things that don't matter. Do you believe that as the youth of today, especially the arts, people always say, oh, Miriam Makeba, no, but Babetula, about things that matter. They were in exile because they were part of the struggle. Artists today just want to have concerts and take our money. Case in point, recently in South Africa, the 30 June strike, they're saying artists are not contributing to anything to that discourse. Do you feel that's a fair pressure to put on artistry?
Who says what matters entirely? Who gets to dictate what matters entirely? I think part of being an artist is literally to reflect the human experience and to be able to document it. So when we look back, we're like, oh, Usbanban was writing articles about this while this song came out and this film came out, and this was the commentary in the fashion space and the visual space. That's what art is there to do. Yes, bonis okay, best abanga kanje, best groove kanje, best color kanje, best hleka kanje, you know, and it needs to be able to, art needs to be able to man, to be all it is that we are. So what I mean by that is that if it's time to twerk, people must twerk.
Got you.
If it's time to laugh and to escape the realities that come with being alive, because sometimes we need to escape, sometimes we don't want to think. It's very important to be able to do that, to have music that worships with us. If you have a belief system that pulls you to the higher power, to unkulunkulu wako or abantu bagini, if you subscribe to that, music that also thinks with us. And when it comes to izintefana nama march, you know, I think it's an important thing for people to be able to exercise their human rights, to advocate for themselves. And I think art also does play an important space in that. And I'll beg to disagree and say, there was a lot of conversation even by platformed people about
Absolutely.
a lot of what has been happening in the country. Ithande futhi ukuthi ithi ukuba interesting now, you know, in as far as platformed people being able to share their opinions about things, because omunye umuntu uzothi uphawula ngento ethize abantu bathi hey wazini wena ngaleyo nto le noma akuyona mhlambe lempilo le oyiphilayo yabona ithi ikubile into ukuthi uphawula ngani having a privileged experience that you're living but mhlambe uthola ukuthi laba bamlandelayo lo muntu lo thize abazi izinto mhlambe yena ahlangana nazo or the things that they are exposed to or maybe the black tax that they have to take care of or the fact that a lot of our experience njengabantu abamnyama nje it's a lot more similar or takes very little for our lives to change from that which we have built to that which we have conquered and come from, you know. So I mean, we can do the best that we can with these songs and hopefully sing songs where people see themselves. Abantu that are advocating for themselves, for them to be able to see what's here. Even the art world recognizes your experiences.
Absolutely love that. How does umuntu ozbizo Zoe Modiga speak this KZN thick Zulu that I speak?
Where's home, Konje?
Mlaz.
Of course, my darling. Mina ngiyintokazi yasemgungundlovu. Uzukuluka nom.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Tandas. So, Kamutiga, Zoe Modiga. My name is Balesa. I got Upalisa, Ikabanga, and then Bangbiza Ngomapali, no? But Upaliso. I was so Palisa. I think I got Upalisa from was it my mom or my grandfather? Both are my best friends. So one or the other. Nomtandazo was given to me by my grandfather. So that was her name. Pumelele was given to me by my father. Kamutiga, we migrated. It's the maternal side of my family migrated from northwest Pretoria to Pietermaritzburg. So that's why kukhona abaga as they like to say ekhaya, that live ngasekhaya. And then on the paternal side, I've got family from the Eastern Cape, emakhaya, Kuba, Nagampisi, which is close to Kuba is close to Epizana. And then Umawame is the one that has exposed me to like the suburban kind of reality. So I've always just been a person who's existed between all these
cultures,
many ways of
languages.
Being. You know, and you find that there's more home in yourself than there is in the space around you, because the space around you moves so often and changes so often.
In fact, I was about to ask Uguti, does that not cause Uguti, I don't belong anywhere? Because, you know, Zulu people, when a Zulu person is Zulu, you will know.
That's so true.
Right? Because they're so rich in their culture. They are happy about their culture. They identify with their culture. Isn't the moving making you feel like there are gaps in my existence?
It does in many ways. I mean, for example, even me saying is me basically saying yes, this is the place that I'm from. This is where all the music comes from. This is where all the stories that I sing come from. Because it's not like a Dlamini or like a Zweli or you know, it's not lelo kama yabo lesosbongo lesula ubona ukuthi okay, Zulu sisters, you know. So yeah, it does create a sense of not entirely belonging. I've always had that feeling of not completely fitting in general.
Okay. And
ngingayithatha as far back as ukuhlala embali e1 but having to go to school edrobheni. You know, it was like a greener pastures thing. Like I had the opportunity to do this, but my friends were not necessarily in that same position. So it made me feel like I didn't quite belong, because when they share their school stories, they're not exactly like my school stories.
Correct.
Bese other instances, you know, of moving around. So manje, I'm used to speaking Zulu. Now I'm having to move to the Val to go to school at Alcon Park Primary. That's a complete cultural shift that happens. Language shifts. Rabua now. Asakhuluma sekuyabua
We are
manje.
booing.
We are booing, so there's been a lot of moving around, Northwest, Free State. So there is this thing that I do walk with of not feeling like I quite belong, and choosing the color yellow instead of the color pink, But I think mhlampa abantu who would relate to that would be people like myself. And I think there are cases where we all feel like we don't quite belong.
How do you overcome
reasons.
it? Because I think there's a lesson in how you've overcame it, considering that for you, belonging might be caused by this lack of belonging. Someone doesn't feel like they belong because their mother died early or their dad left the family early because of work or whatever nefarious circumstances. There are a lot of people healing from unbelonging, or a lot of women feel unbelonging because they don't have a husband. And it's true, you know it.
Yeah.
How do you heal from feeling like you don't belong anywhere?
I guess mhlampe, and I guess I have more of a question than an answer, because I don't like ukuthi ngibe nempendulo when I really don't have answers to things.
Sure.
I feel like njengomuntu Nkosi yami bandlo oyigculelayo ibhalela ingoma zakhe aphinda idlalela isiginci sakhe yabona. I'm just trying to figure the whole thing out. But I think I've been asking myself even as soon as this week, would say actually what is my idea about my sense of belonging, because I feel like I'm on a borrowed time. It's almost like this is not my home.
Sure.
Like Earth is not my home. It's somewhere else, but sizophelelana while we're here type of thing, and maybe the goal should be to be set apart then. Maybe it should be to know that you do belong because you are here and you've been chosen to be alive and to have this experience that you're having. But also, right to be set apart.
It's okay to be different.
It's okay to be different. And often the things that make us different are the things that set us apart. But actually, that's the thing that might even be aligned to like your gift or your calling.
Sure.
And it picks you apart from the bunch, so to speak, Leon. But it's actually your charisma.
Yes.
Has like a sense of humor that's like a little bit peculiar. But it's like more cool because so you've got an interesting way of seeing that or approaching that or looking at that. So yeah, maybe the point is to know we belong because we do belong and we're alive, but to be who we are.
Yeah.
To be who we are.
Putting humility aside, when did you know that I've broken through? I'm commercial now. Which moment was it?
That is such an interesting question. And I don't like to be coy for coy's sake. I know that I'm a gifted person. I know that I've also worked very hard. And that the fact that I work hard, and there's just also been grace also over my life. So I'm aware of all of these things and they all jive with each other. But I would say I was playing an angel, a crash. And that is when I knew that I had the ability to impact people. And I was just simply singing as an angel. It's not something that like I recognize now as a recording artist language with, oh man, the person that I am now, I was aware of them playing an angel in that school play. A crash. Yeah.
So you gain consciousness and awareness, a crash. When do you get commercial realization, Oguti, I've cracked the ceiling? Because I think a lot of us, I can say for myself, the first 1.5 to 2 years of the podcast felt like I'm just working for me and my little 5 people who are watching me, and they get it, and we love what we're doing, and we are our little community. So we're like this little book club that meets every week on a Tuesday at 12. You know what I mean? Cool. And then one day you wake up, you're like,
He's that.
yeah.
I don't know that I felt that.
Sure.
I don't know that I felt that.
Can't be though.
I know ngiyazi and angifuni kube ngathi ngiyakumaketha.
Sure.
Angifuni kube ngathi ngiyakumaketha. I'm just being genuinely honest. I don't know that I've felt that. I know ukuthi there is a respect that comes behind what it is that I've been able to do over the years. I know ukuthi I'm platformed and that I've been recognized for it. But I don't know that I've entirely landed in every single living room, like South Africa,
sure.
for instance, you know. And it's what I want the most because the songs that I write and the reason for them is in those living rooms. Yeah. Yeah. So I continue, I'm just showing up.
Yeah.
And continuing to be led in that. But I'm curious to have more homes here curious about what it is that these songs are about.
I'm intrigued that you say that because there's somebody watching who's a musician who looks at Zoe and says, oh my gosh, if I had even half of what she had, my life would be complete. What would you say to such a person?
Don't do it. And I'll elaborate.
Okay.
I understand because I also admire people.
Okay.
I also look to people. I'm also inspired by people. I'm also encouraged by people. But a person like myself, who's obviously fully aware of what has come with living the life that I live and being able to be responsible with that which I've been tasked with, is that you realize don't wish for someone's things because you might not want to wear the shoes that come with it. But maybe the better thing to do is to sow some seeds into your world and to find out what your divine assignment is, because you have it. You are that significant that simply because you're here, emhlabeni means you have that particular assignment. Find that, be curious about it. Be curious about yourself. What are the things that enrage you? What are the things that make you tick? What are the things that excite you? It's lying there. It's waiting for you. And then there will be a beautiful customized pair of shoes that are tailor-made for you that you can walk. Don't look at my things and other people's things. You might not want to wear those boots.
Yeah.
But hey, mklambu kick and boboza wakho uzowuthanda wena wakho, the one that's yours. So that's what I would say.
Especially in this era of curated profiles on social media, on stage, public relations, covers, magazine covers. So much of it isn't what it seems.
No, it's the industry that we're in. So I like to think of it this way. I like to think of myself as a healer. I like to think of myself as a conjurant, as a person who's being used to articulate a particular message of importance, whether that be healing, whether that be whether that be us navigating everyday life, heartbreak, the whole thing, you know. But I think I'm very cognizant of the fact that the industry I'm in is also one of creating worlds and illusions. Pella, for you to escape while listening to my song means I'm creating a world for that to be able to happen. I'm hosting this world, which means the space between what's real and what's not real can be a little bit blurry, and that things may not look the way that they seem, and that certain characters may not be as they portray, and that there's also this performative culture that exists now where I just maybe need to tweet about something particular that I don't necessarily find I resonate with that particular thing, but because I know
it's a talking point,
that I get to throw my void towards, you know, I get to throw my unhappiness about myself towards. I get to throw, I'm just using you like dough to work through whatever I'm working through. But the words must land with you, you know, because you're not a human being.
So simply because I've platformed you as an ordinary human who's not platformed, it means you are void of humanness.
Perhaps.
Sure.
To some extent. To some extent.
And you must accept just anything that's thrown your way.
Yeah, and accept it gracefully.
With grace.
Yay! Phela sipalufo.
Bedelela.
Spalufo, but uthola ukuthi umuntu wouldn't be able to converse and say the things abasuke sebeyibhala noma the things that they say, you know. So isibuko esithize, you know, it's one that we need to kind of look into, you know, because people can't share real opinions about things anymore. And then when they do share opinions, sometimes it's not warranted. It's just biting for biting's sake. Again, into that builds the person up who's going to be reading or engaging with it, you know. Yeah, we need to look at what we consider to be entertaining. Because I think the world is getting harder. It's getting tougher. It's getting more weighted. Yeah, we are seeing that. We are hlaba futhi umhlaba. So it would help Miss Pelezelana better, I think. It would go a long way.
We have more access to each other because of technology. We have quicker solutions to things. We are able to solve complex problems faster, but instead we are regressing and we're making it harder to live.
I don't think it's actually connecting us. Yes, the internet.
Sure.
I think it gives an idea. Even if you know someone intimately, like umngani wami lo, sihle njani sihle. Uthola ukuthi mhlawumbe umfoneli, or you don't write like a message to check up on them, but you're like, let me go on social media, or let me go on my WhatsApp status to make sure they're fine, kind of thing. But that person is not going to be posting everything that's happening in their life, in their world, in their space.
Yeah.
I know in my line of work, I try to keep my social media very specific to umsebenzi wami, because yona into engifuna ukuthi sikhulume ngayo umsebenzi wami, you know. But then that means if you know me, you might not necessarily know. Maybe I'm having the best season of my life. Maybe I'm having the worst season of my life. But I'm still, like all of us have to, still showing up. You know, so
an illusion of connection. I love that.
Yeah.
We think we know what's going on in each other's lives, Gandhi. We don't even know highlights. It's like bits and pieces.
Yeah, we do. And I guess it's a mask we all have to wear, because Pele, you can't look like everything that you're going through all the time either, right? But like, sibe bahle, yabona nje, sibe cute, sibezele, siba ama-benches, you know. But yeah, you know, there's human beings, we frustrate one another, we have a hard time giving each other like grace. And yet our experiences are so not unique.
Sure.
We're all feeling a lot of pain. We're all feeling a lot of joy. Like, we're all navigating easy. We're all like, actually, what the hell is going on? What are we doing? Like, this is all. Yes, I sing. Yes, you know, ngizokuvakashela, like in your lovely abode. But this is all wenzandla. And I say this as a person who writes songs about the meaning of life. Nami ngisaybuza nami. Because I am singing the song, but like, you know?
I get it.
Yeah, it's just, something else.
It's quite interesting. The intersection of being a woman, a young black woman in South Africa, who's also famous, how does it impact your romantic relationships?
And being a young black woman, a young black gifted woman, is a privilege. It's a beautiful thing. It's my second skin, you know. It's a privilege. And to be human and to navigate like the different ideas of what love is and what love can be is also a special thing, you know. Because I think to be loved as umuntu is ultimately to be truly seen. Sure. Where you don't have to like put any mask on, you don't have to like uzponze up, you can just be exactly who it is that you are. And I think we all want that. I want that. You know, I want to truly be seen, to be appreciated, to be known, to be considered, to be protected, to be in communion with someone. But I find that, and I guess it's reflective even in my music, you know. There's only probably like 2 songs in all 4 of my albums that have this idea of love that's like, Baby, ngicela kiss, you know, Sunday pose. You know, it's songs like, ungenza isidwedwe sakho, abantu abayingandawonye bengemanzi, asakhe ikhaya lethu. You know, but I'd love to experience a love that is almost idealistic. I'm a big romantic. Doesn't show in my music, but I'm a huge romantic. I believe in love. I think love creates people, actual human beings. I think it's the thing we all need, man. In this lapayo, you know. So I'd love to be seen in that kind of way, but because I'm also tucked away, perhaps I don't get to then have those experiences of meeting people and you know. But you know, I'm open to loving myself first, loving my family, loving people that love me for no reason. And hopefully whenever the moment presents itself to, you know, have a romantic partnership with someone, I'm coming from a full cup.
I love that. Yeah.
You know, so.
Isn't this idealistic love, especially now that we were speaking earlier about how broken society is, isn't it a delusion and it doesn't exist?
A lot of what I do is creating from a place where someone would say it's a place that doesn't exist. Because where do songs come from? Where do songs come from?
Yeah.
Where do ideas come from?
Yeah.
You know, where does documenting people, the idea to have people in a space and conversing with them, where does that come from? Making culture. Where? So I would say, man, we've created stranger things. We've dreamt stranger things. We've had dreams and nightmares and seen things that don't exist. So who's to say that that kind of love doesn't? And maybe it is labored. Maybe it's not always that way. But I do think there's people who are romantics like myself that would like to believe that there's something that's foundationally true about that love. And that it's a living, breathing love that is available to those that wish it for themselves.
Yeah. I'm just saying this because it seems like the overwhelming evidence is that love relationships are broken a lot nowadays. There is no trust. There is no loyalty. There is no being seen, considered. There's a lot of dysfunction. And it seems like if you want to have someone you can call a wife, a husband, you must be willing to exist in dysfunction.
But I guess if you're asking fractured people to love, you'll see evidence of them being fractured in parts, no? Because if umuntu mina ngithanda umuntu uthanda mina, I come with the beautiful things that I have to offer, but I also come with fragmented parts of myself, with a certain brokenness, and them the same. There's good and bad that they come with. Surely then that fragment is something, it will show up in as much as the goodness will show up. But I think if it's two people that are willing to work on themselves first, work on each other, then it should be worth its pursuit. It should be worth its pursuit. If we can believe in other kinds of miracles, why not this one? Why not this one?
Yeah.
Maybe it needs a little more holy water than other things. But I think brokenness and the goodness that comes with being human is the thing that we all have to dance between.
Sure.
So let's do the dance then. Let's do the dance. But I don't think life is doom and gloom. And I say this not because I'm actually like this eternal optimist. I say it because like we're here anyway, guys.
We might as well.
We're here anyway, and we're rubbing between good and bad in the ways that we navigate Limpilisi Pila. So we might as well. Might as well. I want to use this time well. I know I'm not here forever. I hope to make things that people will like appreciate and see and find value in, and it will be useful to them longer than saying basketball in heaven or whatever it is that I'll be doing there. I want to leave meaningful things behind, but we're not here for a long time. In
the South African music industry, are there real friendships?
I'll tell you though, I've had so many colleagues who I've experienced such a generosity and a realness with. And I get nervous kind of naming people because I don't want to leave everyone out. Guys. But there's been so many people in the industry that, you know, have just been like no fluff, just good-spirited people, people with ethic, with character, abantu abanesithunzi, abantu abahlonipha abantu, ababona abantu. And I've experienced that. People who've vouched for me, and many other people who build behind the scenes, you know, that help people without wanting or needing shout outs. You know, people that are just about isizwe, which is to make good music, to make art, to make culture, you know. But I'm a character nabantu that are tricky, you know, and that navigating easy into bekhona nabo kuthanda nje ukuba its own little shapatalatsa my baby, you know, like it's just its own little dance that one has to navigate, where there's, you know, there can be betrayals, there can be ways in which opportunities can be stripped from you, there can be ways in which certain things are navigated very carelessly. You know, it's an industry with so much light and joy that it gives, but there's a lot of darkness and a lot of shadows and a lot of sharp edges around it as well. And kunje kuthiwa amawele. Yeah. It's literally like this vibe. Yeah. So it becomes interesting then to have relationships that are meaningful. And I'm a very not secretive but private person, and I'm also a very closed off person because so I try to protect lo muntu engiwuyena, you know, off the stage. So it's hard for me to open up to people as a result of that, you know. But yeah, I do think there are good people that are worth engaging with and that are worth knowing, and that I do know and engage with.
Have you ever been so highly disappointed by people in the industry that you even thought, is this whole thing even worth it? Like, I could be studying finance and working at a bank.
How much time you got? How much time you got? Oh. On any given Tuesday, for sure. Mina ngingasho ukuthi umculo, as much as it's been a gift, it's also, oh man, what comes with it has been some of the biggest heartbreak. And because people are good and bad and weird and amazing, and the gray area and the white area and the black area, because we are so many things, I think sometimes we get to prove to each other the many things that we can be, you know. So yeah, there's definitely been disappointments. There's definitely been a being let down. There's definitely been like having to advocate for myself and still show up, because that's what we need to do. Hi, this is Zoe Modiga. Intokazi yasemgungundlovu umzukulu kaNomthandazo. Ngapha ngalapha ula ukhihle sikanandi ngala, but you're showing up. Yeah, I've definitely experienced that. But I would say, you know, in the times that I have, it's really taught me what I think about myself, because it's taught me how to advocate for myself. It's taught me how little I would think of myself because of how challenging it would be to advocate for myself. And when it's advocate, like advocating is as simple as showing up sometimes. Sometimes that's all you can do, you know? It's just arrive, be there, meet the moment, be present, leave the moment, you know? So yeah, for sure. Man. To do lo msebenzi, you must really be almost delusional in how much you love it, because almost everything will make you not love it. And I've made this promise to myself because of what I've seen, experienced, and observed, is that I never want to be this person who has this dark cloud that is based off of all of these disappointing experiences that sometimes come with what it is that we do. Angifuni ukuthi umoya wami usinde. When I walk into a room, I want to breathe life into it. Like I don't want to ukuthi nje yo hey wafika uZoe sa-recorda le episode kwavele yazi nje kwangathi umuntu angangidofo yabona nje afterwards because this person left such a heavy dense energy. I don't want that because life is going to happen anyway. Like it's going to happen anyway, and the goodness of it is going to happen, and the really unfair things will happen. The things you don't deserve will happen, you know.
Sure.
But like, man, no, it's too much to carry. Bad lady, you gon' hurt yourself.
Listen.
Running all them bags like that. Erika Paduya, she would say, she's kwama. Oh,
Ne?
yeah, she's kwama.
You know, in life, it's either you've just come out of something, you're going through something, or something's coming up. Like, guaranteed. All of us are
sometimes simultaneously.
all three. In different areas of your life. Ngapu yapuma, ngapu uphakathi obishi. Literally.
Yeah.
So you have to take a decision, as you're saying, to keep it moving.
You have to. There's this thing that I started going into gym in 2023, right? 23, 24, around there. And that space ended up saving my life. Yes, you know, kuzophuma 8-pack nanani, the muscles are defined, darling. Good toned, gumnandi, stogi kindi, amato pumela ngaphandle, amagaga gumnandi, you know?
Yeah.
But also, like, I've cried in the gym, you know. I've been furious in the gym. I've even punished myself by doing, like, crazy reps in the gym. I've laughed. Like all my dental formula is outside of, you know, I've felt every kind of thing in the gym. So I think there's something to be said about having like Lauma Vice, the places that you go to. Can you get like a done, you know, just to be able to feel grounded, to feel rooted, to regulate.
Sure.
You know, where you can still be the person you are, where you can recognize yourself even after life has happened. Do I like what's left behind? You know, even as I'm grabbing my pieces, do I recognize lo palesa lo mthandazo lo phumelele? You know, would I be happy to interact with this version of myself? Fine, everything's happened, but yeah, what's left behind? What's left behind?
Last but not least, Zoe Modiga, what's that one thing in life you know for sure and you're absolutely certain of?
What do I know for sure and I'm absolutely certain of? Oh man, is that I'm so divinely carried. I am so divinely carried. Futhi ngiphelezelwa kamnandi with so much patience and love and joy. I am so divinely carried and sure. Yeah, I'm divinely carried. And yes, for what it's worth, I am so happy to be here. And I mean that with everything it comes with. I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy with my stage name is Zoe, which means life in Greek. And that apparently Modiga means peace. Angazi if my grandfather was adding spice there. But like, yeah, I'm grateful that, thank you so much, that like I reconcile with the fact that I'm happy to be here. It's a war zone, but it is worth it. It's beautiful to be here. So that's my truth.
Well, it gives Zoe a chance. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Truly inspirational. A young lady just after her dream. Her music is exceptional. If you haven't listened to it and you're experiencing Zoe for the first time on this platform, please do. It is healing, it is transformative, and it will help you feel one with yourself. Zoe, thank you so much. Siyabonga. From crying to laughing. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.